Hey, what's up, everyone? Thanks for joining me for Real Talk NFT. I'm your host, Brian, and we have an awesome guest on the podcast today. It's the founder of the Breadies NFT project that's going to be launching soon on the Base blockchain. He goes by Mep. Really excited to have him on the podcast today. Mep, how you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Oh, well, we're excited to have you. I'm a little excited. I almost feel like I'm screaming into the mic, so my apologies. But before we get started, kind of want to tell you a little bit about my background and how I found out about your project. I was honestly just on crypto Twitter, checking out a lot of the projects on this channel. We talk about Solana NFTs, Bitcoin NFTs, Memecoins, and I love myself some good base NFTs. And with on-chain summer coming around, I've been really going down that rabbit hole, and I stumbled across your project called Breadies. I know it's supposed to be launching soon, and honestly, the pixelated art of like that 80s vibe just really spoke to me, and I wanted to reach out, have you on the podcast, and talk to you a little bit about the project. But before
Cool.
we dive in deep there, would love to just learn a little bit about your background and how you got into the world of Web3.
Yeah, so Web3 is kind of my secret identity. I have a full-time career as a clean tech consultant. I live in Singapore. I help support the green transition in Southeast Asia, you could say, by helping companies and technologies gain access to the market here in Southeast Asia. So, and I have a degree in biophysics. So it wasn't really in the cards that I was to become a Web3 degen. But 3 years ago, I spoke to my brother and we decided we should buy some NFTs. And of course, we bought a yacht club that had just launched. And then we had to buy some other ones. And then we bought these pixel apes from an artist called Jokong 3 years ago. It's a project called Ape Gang.
Sure.
And I kind of just got involved with that, and I've been working with Jokong ever since. I've been an executive manager for Ape Gang. We launched a pixel art project on Ordinals as well, as part of our expansion plan for 2024. He's an artist. He just really wants to get his pixel art out to different audiences. So we thought, why don't we just launch art-only collections on different chains? So we did Pepinos on Ordinals. That's also Jokong. And now we thought it's time for Base. And there's a reason why we do Base. It's because well, first of all, the fees are low, so it's easy to launch a collection. It's fresh. There seems to be a lot of good builders there. There's a good vibe. Everyone is kind of just collaborating, which we really like. But then the biggest meme coin on on Base is Brett. It just hit $1 billion market cap. And if you know your meme history, Brett and Pepe and Andy and Landwolf are all part of this comic by Matt Fury that was released in 2005, I think, 2005, called The Boys Club. And since we already had a Pepe collection on Ordinals, and since Brett is Pepe's best friend, we thought, okay, we need to do a Brett collection on Base. And because I'm rather old, I'm an 80s child, we just thought, why don't we do it with all kinds of different 80s fashion traits? And that's why it became Breadies, because it's Brett plus the 80s is Breadies. So it's art only. There's no roadmap. People buy because they like the artwork. Maybe we deliver something down the road, but we'd rather under promise and over deliver.
Yeah, I love it. The artwork really spoke to me, and that's something that caught my eye initially, like I said earlier. And that's really
Yeah.
interesting. I didn't realize you had an Ordinals project, so I'm going to absolutely take a look at that. And I'm familiar with Ape Gang, so
Oh,
I
really?
didn't realize these. Yeah, I've been deep into these streets quite a bit. I might even have one or two in my old wallets. I'm good. Once we're done recording here, I'm going to definitely take a look and let you know.
Yeah, so
But
it's the same artist. It's Jokong. He's a French guy, very gifted artist and developer and business person. So I've been working with him the last 3 years.
Yeah, that's awesome, and this is the type of story that I love to have people on this podcast because I learn something new every day. I love NFTs, kind of like every part from like just the artwork because it kind of causes like a nostalgic feeling in
Yeah.
your gut and something you kind of want to own, and if it's not crazy price wise, and then there's this higher end art that you're just like you value like any other collectible. And
Mm.
then there's just the whole community aspect and utility aspect and gaming aspect with NFTs if you go that route. So there's so many opportunities for that technology. And I do like sometimes when there's just NFT projects where it's just like good vibes, good community. Hey, we're in this because we like the art and who knows what's going to deliver down the line. That's the beauty of NFTs.
Yeah.
And you answer the question. One thing I had a call out for you was
Hmm.
we've been talking so much on this channel about like ordinals and
Hmm.
runes and Solana and obviously Ethereum NFTs, but we never really have dived that deep into base NFTs. There's been a few. We had JVMI on recently with like the swatches, and we're big
Okay.
fans of that generative art project, but there's not like a ton of NFT projects on base that have been like really catching steam.
Mm.
But I've noticed that they're now making this big push for on-chain summer. I see Coinbase talking about it left and right. Can you kind of touch base of your involvement there and maybe even just give us the audience a little 101 on what on-chain summer is?
Yeah. So on-chain summer is well, I guess it's essentially a Coinbase initiative, because they're a big supporter of Base. It's a 3-month period starting June 3rd. So on-chain summer did start, and what they're doing is they have different hackathons, different types of events for builders, and around 600 ETH in total in prizes and grants and support. So um, the the thought is that, and I think that's actually true. I think the fact that there's so much support to be had from Base and Coinbase during on-chain summer, it will it will mean that there are a lot of eyes on Base projects, and that's kind of also why we're timing the launch of Redis with on-chain summer, just because um, it is a period where the NFT sales are usually a bit slow. NFT sales usually pick up pace beginning of the year and the end of the year. But because of on-chain
Mhm.
summer, we think that there could be some more activity on Base this summer, which is why we're doing it. So it's a wide range of different types of projects they're supporting, including projects like ours that are just building communities on Base.
Yeah, I could definitely see it. The timing of the project seems like it's gonna be a great timing for you. And I know I caught you on a show called we can talk about it in the podcast here, but
Hmm.
called the Pixel Show. You do a Twitter
Yeah.
Spaces, and it feels like it was a year ago. But the big news about the ETH ETF came out, and it looks like that's all going to be a wrap, and we're going to be trading an ETF, and more likely
Yeah.
the market's going to respond in a very favorable way, especially for Ethereum, which really for a little while there seemed like it was, getting overshadowed by some of the other majors. But I would
Mm.
have to go like it feels like your timing is going to be great because we got this base on chain summer delivery, a lot of builders, a lot of eyeballs there, myself included. And then we're going to more likely have a surge within the ETH price, which is obviously connected to base. Could be
Yeah.
really nice timing for your project.
Yeah. We also have we've secured Magic Eden as a launch pad. That required quite some work on our side. A lot of forms to fill out, peer review, KYC. Um, but we included in the launch pad, and so that's more or less ready to go. All the artwork is ready to go. The thing about launching NFT collections, it's all about timing. And the timing hasn't been great right now before on-chain summer for launching NFT collections on Base. They've just been slow to mint out, and some of them didn't mint out at all. So that's why we're focusing more on community building, generating awareness about our project, just contributing to the space as well through the Pixel Show, bringing projects together and just geeking out about pixel art and building on Base.
Yeah, I honestly I love what you guys are doing. It feels like you're just building a very organic project, organic community, and you're trying to be methodical about launching the project because you can only launch it once,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
we've all seen it like back in the day, what was it? Oh, do you remember Gutter Cat Gang? The Ethereum.
Yeah.
Well, they're
Yeah.
still around. They're pretty popular. I remember they had like I was like so ready for that mint, and I still remember exactly where I was and how it happened a few years ago. They had an issue with their mint. Everyone started fudding. Oh, they minted early. Like the whitelist opened early. Everyone started fudding it. It was
Oh.
just a complete like shit show. I just
Yeah.
remember that, and I was like, man, like, and it was everybody. It wasn't just Gutter Cat Gang. I just remember that one specifically. But around that time, where like, if you could have a successful mint, like you were in business. It was honestly the wild wild west. But people would
But a lot of
fud you
people
instantly.
messed up their mint, right?
Oh,
It was a shit show.
it was
Back
a
in
shit show. And
2021.
you brought up Bored Apes too, and I've talked about this on the show in the past. I unfortunately faded Bored Apes. Well, I traded a few
Welcome to
early
the
on, but
club.
I faded their mint. I knew all about it, was following it, and it went off like my time in the United States here. It went off at like midnight or
Okay.
1 a.m. And I kind of like right around 11, I remember kind of like, I'm not gonna do this. I woke up and Pranksy bought a ton of apes, like hundreds of apes, or minted hundreds of
Oh.
apes or thousands of apes. And I was a little salty. I don't know why, because I didn't get it. I mean, we all are in Web3 every once in a while. And I was like, I'm not going to pump Pranksy's bags, because I was going to buy like a whole bunch right off of mint there. And that was a financial mistake. But I've honestly staying in this industry and connecting with guys like you and just communities, we've all like, we remember the losses, but we've all had plenty of wins as well. So back to the project a little bit. Talk to me. When are you planning to do the drop? Is there any date penciled in right now, or is that just kind of flowing? And also, is there a collection size, or you said you're launching on Magic
Yeah,
Eden?
so it's a 10K collection. The process of generating it is quite interesting. So Jokong, the artist, he usually what he does, he generates a master collection. In this case, it's probably around 50 to 100,000 breadies. And then he has this website that he built where you can swipe left and right, just like it's kind of like Tinder for NFTs, for curation,
like
for curation of the collection. So all these 100,000 or whatever it is, 50,000 breadies get displayed one by one, and then you swipe left or right depending on whether you want it in the final collection or if you want to delete it. And that takes quite a lot of work, because I mean, you can imagine you need to delete basically 40, 50, 60,000 breadies. So that's how we curate the collection. It's a Tinder for NFTs, and he's gone through that whole process. So the collection is ready, but yeah, like I said, we're keeping it kind of fluid because we just want to wait for the right timing, and we're not really in a hurry. We're having fun with the Pixel show. We might see if we can include the base team in the Pixel show and have them give updates on On-Chain Summer. We're getting guest speakers. Things are kind of picking up on the Pixel show, which is cool.
Yeah, and I encourage everyone listening to the podcast here to check out the Pixel show. Is it every Thursday at 9?
Yeah. Every Thursday
11 a.m.
At 11 a.m.
Yeah.
EST.
Yeah, every Thursday. Check it out. It's a lot of builders. I caught my first episode. Was the first episode last week, or I caught my first episode last week?
That was the second one.
Okay, yeah, and really enjoyed it. I listened to my fair share of spaces, and I did enjoy it. I just love when everyone's just kind of bringing like communities and builders together, because even though there's like some sort of like competitive nature there, we're so early. Everyone doesn't even really fully scope how early we are. We need to all work together and not cannibalize each other's bags. We need to work together.
It's funny because I don't feel the competitive nature on base at all. It's just people helping each other out. I did feel it in 2021 with NFT collections. There was a lot of beef between collections. My alien is better than your ape. The art is better. You remember those days where people would troll collections on Twitter because they thought their art was better? Kind of funny, but also a bit weird.
No, I remember that vividly, and I would think about that a lot as well. I was like, and a lot of those like communities crossed over with like the same holders, which was even more ridiculous. And I never fully understood it because we're trying to bring in the masses. We all say it, but we're trying to bring in people that aren't like diving down these streets every single day. I mean, we love the speculative nature of like investing in NFTs and meme coins and crypto overall, but also the community and what they can do. And we talk about like the technology and how they'll be utilized by major corporations to just like a guy down the street building projects for a community project or a utility pass. So I never fully understood why everyone kind of hated on each other, but we were also euphoric and rich. Like all these projects were just going through the roof. The price wouldn't stop. Doodles, I remember, was like 1 or 2 ETH, and then I wake up the next day, it's like 13 ETH. I'm like, oh my gosh, when's 20 ETH, and is that better than an ape? When's the flipping happening? And I'm like, ooh, it kind of, I know exactly what you mean, but it doesn't feel that way on Base.
Yeah.
Doesn't really feel that way on the other chains as much, but certainly not Base. Base has like this like community vibe and what Jesse's building over there, and it's probably how like just look what they're doing with On-Chain Summer. They're trying to bring all these builders together and they're rewarding them. So it's very interesting in my point of view.
Yeah, I think Ordinals has a similar vibe. That's why we like them. We like the vibe on Ordinals. That's why we launched the collection there. We had different options on where to put our Pepper collection, but we ended up putting it on Ordinals because we like the vibe.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Ordinals. I'm a Node Monkey holder. Kind of just got caught up into the hype.
Did you mint Frux?
What's that? Oh,
did you get a Frux?
I told everybody within our private community where this podcast goes out to and other people on YouTube that we need to sign up for Frux. Went to the website, showed everybody in our newsletter. I did buy some Frux. I did not get whitelisted. I put some opportunities in, but I did buy it pretty early and turned most of them early for a profit. But I do have a couple that I'm holding just because I kind of like them. It's a similar vibe.
They're kind of funny to look at. We negotiated. This is kind of my sob story. We negotiated 40 whitelists for Peppernos community.
Oh yeah.
For Frux, and I had one of them. And then my fund transfer to my wallet got stuck in the mempool, and the funds never arrived. So I ended up not minting. I'm so sad.
Yeah, that's a bummer. That's a bummer. And we're still working out the kinks over there on Bitcoin as well with transactions, and that's kind of something I do like about it though. It reminds me of those old ETH days when it's like, where's my money? I just sent it to this address. Why is it taking so long?
Yeah, but the problem is when you switch between chains, because I've also been buying meme coins on Base, and everything is just super fast and super cheap. Like you literally pay less than a cent in transaction costs. And then I forget about that when I come to Bitcoin and I'm minting something, and it just takes hours for the money to arrive in my account.
We're getting some hype right now with Bitcoin and runes, and it's something that 30 days ago was like the talk of the town, and then of course we all kind of knew it was going to pull back a little bit because it's classic buy the rumor, sell the news, but it always bounces back just like Ordinals did. And I'm a big fan of runes. Definitely like the clunkiness of like transacting on them is difficult. I love how Magic Eden just recently released, charting so we could chart these like a normal coin. That's but I do see like, I think maybe Dog Go to the Moon or Dogs, the ticker, Leonidas' coin is going to go to $1 billion market cap possibly today. This is early June.
It's very close.
Yeah, so that's
been hovering around.
That's exciting. We all want it. We all need it. But you're right. It is like, it was clunky to kind of get started, but that's when a lot of opportunity is there. But I also trade a lot of meme coins on Solana. I think a lot of us do. And And I love the speed of the transactions. And one thing I love about that is if I need to get out of I feel like compelled. It's like an ETH meme coin, let's say. I feel compelled to hold on to it because there's like a pretty decently massive transaction fee. I'm just like compelled to hold on to it longer than I should. Sometimes when I get into Solana or Base would be the same thing, is that these microtransactions, I have no problem getting out with right away because I don't like the way things are going, or if it's just gaining a 5% win, you can actually take that win on Base or Solana and feel good about it. If you're only up 5% on Ethereum mainnet, you're getting killed on that transaction fee.
What's the point?
Yeah. So I know Brett. I'm sorry, I know Brett on Base, and it's awesome, especially for your project that they hit $1 billion market cap yesterday.
Yeah.
And I think that was really or a couple of days ago, it was really underreported. Like, not a lot of people were talking about this major meme coin on Base. All we wanted to talk about was Iggy Azalea's mother coin and everything else going on Solana. Talk to me about
dollar Jenna.
Yeah.
Jenna coin.
Yeah, exactly. And it's is this a deep fake? Is this not? I stayed away from those because I didn't know what was going on. I was I've been burned too much in the past aping into things. But talk to me about Base meme coins. What do you like right now? Any thoughts to doing a collab or connection with your NFT project and some launching meme coins in the future?
Yeah, I mean, so I think one of the things we wanted to do with Redis was also to become sort of the PFP of choice for people who hold Base meme coins.
Nice.
So besides 80 traits, we also have traits like the whiff hat with dog with hat and the mog glasses. There's a bunch of different references to meme coins. So I think we also got quite a few requests from communities who wanted to get whitelisted. So yeah, in the sense of collaboration through whitelisting, I think we're already doing it. But yeah, for meme coins, I've been burned so many times. I don't even want to talk about it because I always want to put I put a little punt into something that just started, and I know it's going to rug, but I do it anyway. But I have my theory now, or my investment theory now, is to take the coins that have been around for a while. They've seen an initial pump and a retrace, and now are starting to pick up volume again. I think that's a much safer, if you can even say safe for meme coins, safer bet, because there's already a community that is established. They have some kind of brand recognition. So I'm trying to find those kind of projects on Base that have been around for a while, have seen that initial pump, and now are starting to move again.
Yeah, I love that call out. That's I was going to say it's a similar strategy I've been taking as well. I've been moving a lot of my profits into I've owned some whiff on Solana for some time, so I moved just some profits into there, and I'm well in the green on that and taking my fair share of profits. So now I'm kind of just adding to bags. Some of these political meme coins I've been really evaluating. I think a lot of people now are talking about that as a meta, but the past few weeks, I do think in the United States here, it's going to be kind of with the debates and everything going on in politics over the next few months. Those could really run as just some comical memes, and when something makes someone laugh, it goes up in the charts. But I'm saying I was taking the similar strategy, but over the weekend I torched a couple Sol here and there on just some recently new paired projects. I'm like, oh, this looks interesting, and I literally, one of them I forgot I even bought. I came back and it was rugged, and I was like, oh, why do you even do this to yourself?
Why do we do it? It's the excitement, and sometimes you get lucky. But I have to say, most of my meme coin portfolio is in super stable projects. I don't know if you know Memecoins.
Yeah.
And Based AI. Yeah, I have most of it is in that, just because it's the kind of project where I never check the price because I just know that they're building, and it makes me sleep at night.
Yeah, there's certainly some meme coins out there, and we talk about that with our community a lot. There's just a few out there that have now any crypto can rug, but there's a few that definitely seem to be the front runners, where you're well, if meme coin season really does go into the super cycle, which there's no indication it's going to be slowing down anytime soon, certain coins, top coins like Dog on Ordinals or Whiff on Solana or Brett's on Base. I mean, there's no reason to think that if things get really crazy with the price discovery of the majors, we turn into an alt season, everyone's feeling rich. I really think NFTs and meme coins are going to like really take off.
Yeah.
So you brought this
Fingers
up.
crossed.
Oh,
It's looking good so far.
yeah, so far. I did kind of want just like I was telling some people, I was like, man, I would love to kind of just chop for a few weeks in the summer, just have like a relax. I don't need any major drops or horrible news. Just like have like a pretty decent summer, and then we just take off to the races, you know, and fall into the winter. You know, when I'm definitely down in the lab here, you know, grinding over everything. So you brought up how to whitelist. I would love to give a shout out if there's an opportunity or if there's a community, or how do people get whitelisted for your project?
They just DM Breddies on Twitter, and then I'll hook them up. It's pretty easy.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm gonna give a shout out to some people in our community so you might get a flood of DMs.
No, that's perfect.
Awesome. Well, it was
we're happy to extend whitelist.
That's very nice of you, and yeah, we'll definitely talk about a way to organize that. But you know, if you're listening to this, just DM Breddy's the Twitter handle. Really appreciate you jumping on. I will give you an opportunity to kind of shout out if you want to shout out your Twitter handle or just the main Breddy's handle, just anybody how they can get a hold of the project.
Yeah, just DM Breddies on base. Then I'm the person behind the account, so.
Awesome, Mep. And just for everyone's
pretty easy to get a hold of us.
Just for everyone's clarifications, it's a BR the number 8 TTIES on base. So that Breddy's is an 8. And I kind of like what you did there. You know, it definitely has that 80s vibe and nostalgic feeling, and caught my eye. But again, Mep, really appreciate you jumping on, and have a great day.
Thanks a lot, and thanks for the talk about meme coins. It's very rare that I get to geek out about meme coins with other degens, so thanks for that.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.